What's up, everyone? Welcome to Baseball 4 Podcast here. Gus Rico, episode 45.5 here, running it back here with the fellas in Mexico. Can't wait for this episode. We apologize for last week. It was some technical difficulties, but our fault again. It's going to be a great one. We can't wait. We have a lot to talk about. I'm a strong believer that everything happens for a reason, so we are going to talk about high school baseball, high school playoffs, these guys that are going to come on their journey, what they've been through, the ups and downs, the highs, the lows, because they've been through a lot, and they're still doing it. So I can't wait. I'm fired up for this one. To my left, Andy Lira.
Yes. Welcome back to episode 45, man. And I'm excited for this one. This one's been on my mind since last week of what's been going on and all that. And then they've been having playoff games and going through it, winning and losing, whatever it is. But we're here to talk about it, man. There's no other two guys here that have that experience, that understand the wins and the losses and how to come out on top. Their journeys of where they are at now, and especially what they're doing now. They're facing good competition over there. We've been checking them out, and I mean, shoot, there's some good baseball everywhere in this world, and where they're at is beautiful. So, nothing less, man, to introduce David Lira and Isaac Dominguez, man. How you guys doing, boys?
Hey.
Good.
Hey,
Thanks for having us.
Hey.
Yep, happy to be here and happy to run it back.
You guys look the same. You guys look the same from last week.
For real, right?
Hey, man, thank you guys for honestly, time is man, for everyone, time is a beauty, so for you guys to be doing this is it says a lot about you guys and your guys' character, and to ask you guys to do it all over again, we really appreciate you guys doing this. I can't wait for this. Let's get straight to it. We're not gonna do no Braves updates, no nothing. I got an update. Birmingham lost, and we're out of the playoffs. We're out of everything, and that's a bummer. So let's get straight to it.
Not the update we wanted. Not the update we wanted.
No.
But hey, you know what? Let's get to it, man. Let's talk about that. I know usually we like to start where you guys come from, how everything goes, and all that. But we'll get to that, man. Let's talk about what's. I'm not gonna say what's fresh, but what's a little fresh, man. I mean, they played against Alco. They understand how good they can be, and what they had to go through and all that, man. Like, which journey do we want to start with? You want to start with them first?
Yeah, let's start with them.
All right.
Yeah,
so how was it when you guys' high school playoff game? You guys had Alco SC. How was that, man? Talk about the atmosphere, the way you guys got through that to be able to get there and make sure you guys pulled in a 10-inning game to make sure you guys came out on top.
It's your game right there. That's his game right there.
That way he would walk off the mound and give his glove to Mr. Montero, like, hold my stuff.
Now, I mean, first off, all the playoff games, man. Everyone that I've been a part of, the atmosphere, like you're saying, it's and I would say, like, to change into that specific game, we started already like against the ropes. Everyone was counting us out. Like, just watch. San Fernando's going to lose. Just watch. And we had one of the toughest ways to the ship probably ever. We were almost the last seed. We had to face the top seeds on the way. We faced the top teams on the way down, but to go to that game, the El Camino game, yeah, I mean, that they were definitely one of the better teams that year. Going up against Jose Cardona, he's legit. He one of the best pitchers I've ever seen in high school. As a sophomore, I remember being pretty impressed with watching him up close. At Chatsworth, everything's right there, so you get it for what it is. But yeah, El Camino, man, that game was something else. A lot of preparation that went into it, and yeah, it was. We were gonna leave it all out there. There was no way if we were gonna win or lose. I was gonna make sure that day it was on my back, and yeah, I mean, it was definitely a day to remember, a game to remember, and shout out to my boy Oscar Tanaka. He was the last out of that.
That's right. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, I do remember.
Shout out to my boy.
Yeah, Tanaka, I do remember him. Yeah,
He was the last out.
But since I said that, I'll shout him out and say he did break up the no-hitter in like the 5th or the 6th or something like that.
Now, my boy here talking about he had a no-hitter through the 6th.
Yeah, all right, we get it.
Okay.
You threw your no-hitter, you threw 200 pitches. We get it. You're the only guy that's ever done that. Never again.
Nah.
But the preparation that went into that, it's like it is a lot of pitches, but I prepared probably not the best way, but like a track star for a reason, you know, because obviously it came into play then. But I realized later on as a pitcher, you know, you do need your your
Wait,
long run or
so
your flush run or whatever. But
so running is useful as a pitcher.
it is a lot of mental into like long distance running and stuff like that. But you only really need it days after you throw or after a long bullpen or something like that. But yeah, man, I mean it's crazy how long it's been. It seems like it was just yesterday, but
Yeah. I love talking about this because we're at that time of the year. You know what I mean? We obviously
yeah,
playoffs, and there was a couple great games. Yeah, I mean they're both yesterday. Both the semis were on a walk off. We got walked off, and then Seymour got walked off. And I honestly, big crowd. That goes to show you how big high school city section baseball is. No matter if it's open Division 1, 2, or 3, whatever it is. It attracts crowds. People take days off, and let's go watch baseball at CSUN or wherever it's at. And I mean, Silmar, we lost, and they were like, get out. I mean, CSUN was like, get out. You guys got to go. There's a long line outside. We have people crying and whatever, and all of a sudden we look outside, and there's like a long line for Silmar to get in. I'm like, man, this is going to be a good one. But, I mean, it's turn the page. But, Isaac, how do you feel, man?
I feel good, man. I feel good. It's good hearing, the high school ball is
still going.
Yeah, man, it's good because the city needs that. The city needs that. And, I root for the city, for many guys to come out of there and keep playing ball.
Yeah.
So not just high school, and it ends. I want guys to preaching going and represent 818. Rock's the guy. Shout out Rock T. He's always preaching 818, and he's doing his thing where he's at.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see guys from 818 representing, wherever they may be. You know what I mean? So it's cool to see, baseball in the city. At its peak,
you guys remember Inside the Diamond when you guys were in high school? Or you
Inside the Diamond.
That's Ubeda. He was there yesterday. You probably saw him, the bald dude wearing shades.
Yeah,
he was. He actually got CSUN, and he was there. He made it happen. So shout out to him. He made it happen, and he played a huge role in it, and that was great, man. Because I feel like as far as the semis goes, it used to be at USC, and then obviously they're going through their construction stuff, remodeling for the Olympics, and then we had Pepperdine, and then CSUN. It's whoever wins it prepares you. It gives you a little taste of what the stadium looks like. You know what I mean? In the sense of like pregame, national anthem, announcements. You're like, man, wait a minute. Once you get to the stadium, everything's timed. And as a pitcher, you're like, shoot, what time should I get going? Or what time is pregame? Or what time is this? And it's like you gotta time it well, because if you don't time it well, man, it could probably not help you to your advantage.
Yeah. I think that's the big thing too, is because it gives them an understanding too. An opportunity to check a stadium out, but also check the school out. Because like I always say it too, and I had this conversation with Lou Acosta, and I was just like, man, and Adrian Rodriguez. I was like, yo, like especially CSUN, I was like, this is a beautiful stadium, bro. Got lights, it's beautiful. The school is beautiful. I went there, I graduated from there, but it's like everyone kind of looks down upon it and goes, that's CSUN. No. I'm like, bro, they're D1, man. Like, I want to start understand that guys from the Valley, that it's okay to go to CSUN, man, and make it what it is. Go make it big, and not look at it as it's just CSUN on that. It's a D1 school, man, for baseball. They're putting these new things there. It's becoming fun to be around there.
Yeah.
I was like, we did a Braves night over there, and then packed that house, and that was fun too, man. I was just like, it's a good atmosphere. They're on TV as well now. So I think CSUN, if they get these players that are in their backyard, right? They got the chance to see Birmingham, got the chance to see Alco and these other guys, to be like, yo, you know what? Like, let's go in our backyard and go start going there, and then making it good again.
About. Yeah, that's what it's about right there.
So I think that was a great opportunity, especially if like guys at USC too or Pepperdine, they give the ability to go see that. So I think that's always fun.
The night game hits different. The night game, it hits different. Right, David?
It sure does. It sure
How do you
does.
think that crowd's gonna be out there in Dodger Stadium now? I mean, Venice hasn't been there in a while,
They're
bro.
gonna bring a big crowd.
And that's right there. That's their home.
Right?
They're
Yeah.
not too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be dope, man. You know.
It's not gonna be a rowdy crowd, you know. You got a Camino Venice, so they're good. It's not gonna be no Sanford, you know. Not the Sanford Silmar crowd, that's for sure.
Nah, those crowds are wild.
People are gonna behave this weekend out there.
Hey, last year it was pretty rowdy. The Birmingham Bell, it got
Yeah,
there.
Bell brought a big crowd, and that's another thing. That's another factor. Like, you know, I mean, the community comes together. It's like the crowd that they bring has a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, all of a sudden it's like they're saying, you know, they're chanting, they're, you know, let's go so and so, and it's like, man, you feel the energy. You guys been through it.
Yeah.
You feel the energy, and you know your fastball is live all of a sudden because of that energy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys have bounced back from a tough loss. I know we talked about it the last time we talked, but in 2010, you guys went through that loss against San Pedro, right? And then you guys were able to bounce back the next year and go take it all the way. What advice would you have for those kids that, like Birmingham, those kids or the other kids yesterday, like Silmar, that did lose and have a shot to come back next year? And then as the younger ones, of course, seniors, you don't have a shot of that, right? But the more you have that for the younger guys, what advice would you have for them?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I mean, it's definitely tough. You know, after going through it, it definitely tears you down a little bit. But just really try to assess the season and really, I mean, I'm really starting to lean towards like writing things down, you know. So if you can find yourself to just find some time through the day, some positive and negatives, you know, what you liked, what worked for you, the success you had, and then your weak points, what you didn't do so well in. And I would say get to work. You know, the quicker you get back to work and try to remember what that sour feeling is like, especially for the guys that are coming back.
Yeah.
Really try to sit down and point that stuff out and get to work on it. That way you don't get that feeling that next year. And also speak to your teammates about it. Like, yo, this is where I'm at. Where are you at? And then you really get to find out. You push each other and you get to find out who's really trying to get back to that position. You know, it'll bring some team chemistry together and it'll set you up for some goals to work towards through that summer and that next year.
Okay. What about you, Isaac? What do you got for a position guy? Those things,
I feel like well, when I was in high school, I really didn't have a plan. I just went in there and I knew like I had to work, so I just hit all day, or take ground balls all day. You know what I mean? But I feel like if you ask questions, definitely ask your coach, like, hey, like, well, what do you think I should work on? You know, because sometimes, you know, you could think like I need to work on this, but you need other people's perspective. You know, you need another set of eyes to let you know, like, hey, what's up? Like, what do you think? What do you think I need to work on this year? And you know, it can help in different ways. You know, like maybe you never would have thought, like, oh, damn, like I need more strength in my legs, or you know, more hitting or something. You know, just creating a plan for yourself in the off season that'll get you right for the season. I feel like that'll probably work out. And yeah, like you said, getting with your teammates, you know, holding each other accountable and doing your thing with each other. That'll for sure help too, man, because it definitely builds team chemistry. You guys do your thing outside of baseball talk and get to know each other a little bit more better.
Those exit meetings are important, you know. The exit meetings are important. Like, hey, you did this. Your ERA was at whatever, blah blah blah. You threw 20-something innings, and this is where we see you next year. But it sounds nice. It's easier said than done. You guys both know that as baseball players. Like, oh man, like that exit meeting should be motivating for a young man. It should really be motivating. Like, man, this is where I saw you. Hey, you had an amazing year, but next year you better be better. You got to be better.
Yeah.
You know, right. I mean, it's just hard. It's so tough. Like, you know, I mean, even as a coach, like 5 city titles and, you know, two losses at Dodger Stadium, and you know,
and just throwing it out there like that, huh? Like,
you know, it's just
it's
just tough. I mean, and then you go out and lose yesterday, and you're like, man, like as a human being, you're like, wait a minute, like I gotta do, like it starts all over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the whole thing starts all over again, and it's like, and we know how draining it is. We know how draining it, and you're like, oh my God, it's like just want to go throw myself in.
Yeah,
in
but
the
I mean,
water or something.
as a player, it's very easy to be fired up if you love winning. The reason
Yeah.
why I say that is because you just lost. You just lost, bro. In the semifinals, like
Yeah.
if you love winning, you're gonna go, oh heck no, next year that's not happening.
Well, that's what I
It's
said
not
after the
happening.
game. I was like, hey, you underclassmen, just remember this feeling.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
real feeling, bro. And that you guys know that feeling ain't good
Oh,
either, man. Especially when you have it on the ropes.
Yeah,
You're like, oh man.
like we lost. I don't know if you remember the San Pedro.
Yeah.
We lost that game. We won the next year. We lose again my senior year, and then
2012.
they won again
in 2013.
2013. So you got to give props to that 2013 team too, because they had that hunger too.
Yeah,
But we lost
yeah.
the same way. Walk off.
Yeah, no,
USC.
I respect them, but you know what I'm saying? I was on the other side already. You feel me? So, it's true, though. 'Cause guys like Estrada and all them and Roberto Ramos and all them, they played well, dude. They played against Cleveland, too, and Cleveland was good, really good that year.
So it's tough to come back, but you got to always remember,
But
let's that drive in you. You know what I mean?
Let's talk about it though, because that's a culture thing, right? Like we always talk about like that's 10 years of five. Go ahead, you can throw it out a thing, 5 champ and 5 years or 2 years, whatever it is, right? But it's a culture that's a setting thing. How big was it? Transition to 2011 for you guys, or over those years, especially for Isaac, to be able to go and be like, you know what, we got to make this a normal thing for the high school. That when kids come in, the culture's set, and this is what we expect. How big is that for you guys?
Yeah,
for a team.
Big. It's big. I mean, we said it from. I feel like that comes from when we were with the Valley Cats.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. At travel teams. Hey, my bad. It's just where I come from. I
get it.
Hey, you see this, David? All day, baby.
It's just where I come from. But yeah, you just set that culture from, when, like you guys got your little braids going, that's badass.
Yeah.
So you set it from there,
Yeah.
and then you just keep it, them going, and you set the culture in them to just be at it every day and make them love it, make them love winning, and then a lot of big things come from that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, let's talk about the culture, David. Let's talk about how I know we asked you last time, which no one was able to hear, but they can hear now.
They can hear you now.
To be able to go and like how the culture of when you guys got together again, like the Valley Cats culture, and you guys were able to bring that there. How big is that, man? How big was it to make sure everyone understood that and was like, we got to be on the same page of that?
Yeah, I mean, like he said, it definitely started with the Valley Cats. I mean, really, they just bred some dogs, and that's really what it was. We probably weren't going to be we went up against some great teams playing that travel ball.
Los Tomateros.
So we knew that we weren't the best talented team, but we were going to be some dogs, and we were going to scrap it out. Like, you knew when you saw us, it was going to be a scrap, however it was. And that mentality, I think, is what he's really talking about, that carried over. And I mean, as we know, I started off at Chatsworth, which was a whole different type of culture, but a great culture. I learned a lot there, a lot of great coaches, and a great program. Great program, to say the least. And yeah, as I transferred, I knew that there was just some tweaks as far as that just needed to be done. I don't want to, because they already had something good going, but just a little more discipline, a little more accountability within. That was something that they really preached, was like, the coaches are the coaches, but at the end of the day, we're the ones that play, we're the ones between the lines. And as soon as one guy starts to try to point the finger or coach this or coach that, that really divides the team quick. So for us, it was like, we don't care if they're mean, if they get on us. They're going to be right, they're going to be wrong, and when they're wrong, they're right. That's just what it is. This is what we signed up for.
Yeah.
And we just, amongst each other, we knew, like, if there was anything, we're going to handle it internal. And if we had anything as a team, we presented it to the coaches. Like, look, this is how we feel, or this is what. And we were a unit, so I think that was the biggest, like, just being one all together, and not all guys get along. You have your little mishaps, but if you stick together and you pride yourself on that, then all that stuff gets taken care of. So
you nailed it, man. You're gonna be a great coach one day. You really are. Both of you guys are. So I mean, but you really are. You definitely nailed it, and Amen to that. Amen to that. I mean, we've been through the highs and lows, the everything, and every player we see everyone personalities. It's tough to deal with them. From not just from the spring, from February to June. You're talking about once school starts in August and you hit those tryouts, and then you have the fall winter program, and then it's like, man, you're throwing bullpens and running and long toss and all that good stuff, and get them to try to buy into your system. There's a blueprint, out there that's been working, maybe just tweaks here and there that you add, and if they don't buy into that, you're like, wait a minute, why aren't you buying in? It's so tough, man. It's, like Venice El Camino, they Venice is 20 something and 2. El Camino has, dogs on the mound. They do, and it's like, it's not luck. It's not luck. I mean, maybe the ball's gonna bounce somebody's way on Saturday. Who knows? The weather has a lot to do with it. Some of those kids have never played at Dodger Stadium. Josh over at El Camino knows what it feels like to coach there, so he's gonna prepare his guys to, when you get to the stadium, you sit in the bleachers, you just chill and watch the game before us, and then you start and you go through your same routine. Don't change anything up, I'm sure. And I mean, it's tough, man. Maybe that pop fly, in the outfield, they can lose it in the seatings. You know what I mean? You never know. It's so tough. It's not. You're not playing at Elko. You're not playing at Venice. You're playing at a stadium. If that ball rolls down the line, it's gonna go boom that way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, I agree, man. That definitely plays a huge factor, and it could be the difference. It usually always is. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
Yeah, man. Oh, man, that's great high school talk there. Love it. Love to pick you guys' brain, guys that did it, and you guys are 9-10 years from it, right, Lira?
Yeah.
Just about, and you guys were pretty successful from it. I just have a question for you, Lira. So, I mean, going from Chatsworth to San Fernando, different culture, different mentality. I mean, you got Tommy Warren and you got Armando Gomez. It's totally different. Like, it's just totally different. Two different guys. So I mean, did in here, did you? I mean, mentally, did something change, or were you the same guy? Did you bring some kind of energy to the San Fernando?
No, I mean, I was definitely me, but I definitely had a fire lit. And I definitely brought a different type of energy. I knew, like, if we're gonna make this move, then we're gonna, it's gonna be well worth it. Yeah. And not just because of me, but because of the guys, and I knew what was over there. Like, I every day I was kind of like, man, and it came time for me to go. But I mean, I showed up with we're gonna work, and we're gonna work every single day, and I don't care if you like it or not, but we're gonna go win. And that was they were already winners, but it was like, no, we're gonna work to make sure that we win. Like, I would tell them all the time, if we outwork every single team in the city, how are they gonna beat us? But you got to be locked in every rep, every ground ball. I remember having a specific conversation with Ricky Vega, right? It was during BP one day, and he's just letting balls go by. And this is at this time, he's one of our bench guys, right? And he was a little tired because he was running around or whatever. He's catching his breath. And I'm like, hey, Rick, are you gonna play tomorrow? He's like, no. I said, dude, you're playing right now. This is your game. Like, get after it, man. Like, he started making diving plays. Everybody is going nuts. Like, and that was the kind of environment I wanted to bring. And you always hear it from a coach, but me being a player, I kind of wanted to set that tone of like, no, we're gonna kind of like I got this type thing, but like relax, because you're right, two different coaches, and Gomez had his approach and he had his way that he coached, and sometimes it was nice to turn and be like, we got it, right. Like sit back. And so again, that was the kind of team we were. So I know that they didn't like it all the time, but as we got closer to the end, and I always told them, just wait till the end. It's sweet. Once we get to the end, and it was, we were sad that it was over because it really brought us together. And I would tell them like, hey, you guys are gonna thank me after. You know, when we go win something, then it'll be well worth it. You know, so and it's a shout out to everybody, man. It's I could bring the energy and I could try to set the tone, but it takes every single piece from the bench guys to Montero, as you mentioned, and all the coaches. So
The best, man.
it's definitely a
Freddie.
group.
To Freddie, catch it.
You catch a Freddie.
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
Fred,
man. Hey,
everybody,
man.
man.
Hey,
Fred,
boy,
all of
Freddie,
that,
man.
Hey,
Hey,
we played him
man.
last week, and then he hit me with like, "Hey, man, next time you have a podcast, make sure your audio's working."
Yeah,
I was like,
I was
"Oh,
like, damn."
man."
I was like, he's lucky I wasn't there for that one, bro. I was like,
He was like, "I was
hey,
listening."
man.
I was like, "Oh man." I was like, "All right, Freddie, I got you, man." So if you're listening right now, man, shout out to you out there. I saw you. You know, he was at the game.
Shout out, Fred.
Yes, sir. But
Yeah.
all right, man. Shit, let's move on.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, man. You guys are in Mexico. Am I correct?
Yeah.
How is the culture
said,
out
yeah.
there? How is the culture out there with baseball, man? You guys kept it going. You guys kept with the grind going.
Isaac's been there, right?
Isaac's been there,
Yeah.
man. He's he's a
Talk
big
about
reason
it.
why David was able to like get to experience the atmosphere. Then once you give that guy an opportunity, he's probably gonna run with it just like always. So that's the thing too is like how was it going from the baseball here to going out there? And Isaac, you can start because you've been there and all that. Like how has your journey been from what it was to now and going through everything where the ups and the downs, going in and being with different teams and all that?
Yeah, damn, I can say a lot, but
Say it.
shoot, it starts with Zone 22. I don't know if you guys
Joey.
ever heard of Zone 22. Shout out Zone 22. Without them, I probably wouldn't be here. It'd probably be a different story. But they put me in the eyes of rest in peace Fernando Valenzuela. They got me to the Liga Mexicana, Tigres de Quintana Roo. That's where I met Rocks. Did our thing, and so yeah, that kind of opened doors to a bunch of different leagues out here that I never knew of. I never knew you can baseball with like 10,000 fans there, and then like another 10 watching through Facebook. So it's bigger than you think. Good competition. A lot of guys that are signed LMB, they're out here doing their thing. A lot of guys signed in the minors that they're rehabbing or doing trying to get back to the minor leagues out there. They're out here doing their thing. But yeah, the atmosphere, I could say, it's been good, man. Every league is tough. You meet a lot of guys that played pro ball, MLB. You meet a bunch of different guys, and at the end of the day, you just got to worry about yourself, do your thing. There's no more mom and dad, that for sure, taking care of you, giving you your Gatorade or any of that. So you got to be prepared. Like this is grown man business over here. You don't do your job. That's what it is. It comes down to it's a job. You got to make sure you take care of what you need to do, on and off the field, because they're looking at the way you're dressed. They're looking at the way you carry yourself. There's a lot of things that go into it. But yeah, man. I'm grateful, I thank God, he's letting me play more baseball, and sure, hopefully, there's more to come. It's not over, man. There's a lot of baseball left over here.
Shout out to your dad,
Yeah.
man. Shout out to
Shout
your
out
pops.
my pops.
Yeah, he's a
man.
real one.
My dad, I love you, man.
Sure.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
He's been the one, pushing me. I mean, I've always been a small guy. You guys know that. I've been a small guy. It's just he's the one that that keeps that hunger in me. Like, hey, go do it. Go do it. And without him, it's probably be a different story too. So
shout out
my
Cuco,
pops.
man. Cuco, man. That dude, I've been on
Mom
that guy
and dad,
forever,
mom
man.
and dad,
Mom and dad,
grandma,
yeah,
grandma,
for
the
real.
father.
That's a strong
Shout out the
family,
whole family. I don't know if you guys remember when we played at DS. My whole family had a whole section, all uncles, aunts, cousins. I had a
Absolutely.
whole section, my whole family. So it was cool to see. Shout out
They
everybody.
had a whole
that
aisle
supported.
165
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, for real. They all had white tees. Number one.
Pro club.
Man. For real.
Yeah, man. It's
That's
just
dope.
not many people like me come from where I come from. Get to play, out here this long. So
That's
it's
dope.
a blessing, bro. It's a blessing for sure.
Yeah, man. So, what about you though, David? It's your first year out there, man. How is it? How has it been, man? What's the I know it's a little bit new, but baseball's always the same. So,
Just tell him
how's
you
that
miss
go?
him already.
Nah, bro. Hey, this guy's been hey, this guy's been away from me for a year or so now, man. He don't want to come back
Tell
home,
him you miss
man.
him, dude. Come on, man. It's all right.
Nah, but it's been good, man. I just been trying to enjoy the grind, enjoy the journey,
Yeah.
And the biggest thing for me is just trying to inspire all these younger guys that are around us. Trying to just teach them some things that we know, and if it's just some knowledge or whatever it is, I make sure I'm an open book to all these guys because I feel like that's a part of my journey is to be able to come out and just inspire these young guys that have a bunch of talent and really got the world in front of them, So that's what I love about. I mean, obviously, I love the grind. I'm not going to get into it, but you guys know what it is.
Yeah.
That's just the regular every day going to the ball field. Like you said, it's just a blessing, and I'm just grateful, man. I'm grateful to God and all my family and everybody that is supporting me along the way to be able to just, like you said, keep playing ball and keep living the dream.
Yeah.
Shit, you're the only Lira out of 10 that's still playing, so keep going, bro, as far as you can, bro.
Keep chucking.
Shit, I hug it up already, bro. I'm good, bro.
Man.
My grind is a different grind, but that's dope, man. I'm glad that you guys are out there having a great time, man.
You guys ever feel like you're homesick out there, or you guys just know you guys are there for business?
Well, I mean, I kind of got used to it. Yeah, my first year, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of was like, it's actually started with college. I went away. I played in Iowa, and that's where I kind of felt the real homesick. And it's a small town, so I never been in no small town. I'm a Valley boy, city, I guess you could say. So I kind of got homesick. But at the end of the day, you got that's when you rely on your family. Talk to them, call them. That's where family plays a big part. Where they come for you, they let you do, let you know that they'll be there. They'll be there. So you do your thing out there, and everything is cool. But out here, yeah, you're gonna get used to it. The days go by fast. We're pretty much on a time clock, and it's like we're these hours we're here, these next hours we're here. It's just like it keeps going all day. So you kind of like you're busy. So it kind of like you lose track of like, oh damn, it's already 10 o'clock. Oh damn, crazy. So it goes by fast. But as far as being homesick, yeah, you miss moms, pops, family, everybody, grandpa, aunts, and all that. But you gotta realize I'm out here to do what I need to do. What I love too. So enjoy it because it's not gonna be forever either.
That's dope.
So yeah, I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I mean, you hit it right on the head. It's really, there's definitely days where you think about, I mean, everybody's getting older, that's for sure. So there's definitely times you think about it, but for me, it just makes you want to go harder, really, not only for us, but for them, because we know from afar, we do got that support, and, they're in our corners. So anytime I feel like that, I just get up and get to it. Whether it's a run, a walk, go get some air, go hit the gym. And that's kind of how I use it. But like you said, man, we're such on a time crunch that you're almost chasing time, so you're stuck on that, just making sure that your routines are right, that you're eating right, or you're resting accordingly and stuff like that. So
what does a normal day look like for you guys over there?
I mean, you wake up, hit the gym, breakfast, kind of get a little bit of time to chill.
Make the call.
That's when you ground yourself a little bit. Yeah. And then sometimes we get to go out on a run, on a jog or something, go hit the store, get some air. And then from there, we just start preparing for lunch. After lunch, it's pretty much go time. Get to the field. If you got to get some early work in, whatever it is, or some video work. A lot of these guys are big on that video. Kind of sit down, get there, and after that, you're headed to the field, and it's go time from there.
Yeah, man, that's dope, man. Cause yeah, we be locked in on the YouTube lives and all that, dude. And I know we talked about it last time, but how's the atmosphere of the game out there? Cause you told us last time that that YouTube doesn't display all that, but I'll tell you this right now. I was listening to the music. They had some really good music. They were listening to the people yelling, screaming. You guys been in some tight games lately, so it's been really dope to see and all that. But how is it being in that? Knowing that it's a different culture from the playing here in the United States and going to Mexico. How is that?
Well, I mean, the culture, yeah, everybody's they're pretty rowdy, man. They let you have it. They let you have it. You strike out, runners on base, man. They're gonna let you have it till you walk to the dugout, sit down. They'll still let you have it while you're sitting on the bench thinking about your AB. You guys gotta flush it, and then yeah, they're on you. But like I said before, when you do good, that's when they give you your praise. I'm talking about our own fans. Our own fans. So when you do good, they'll give you your props. But yeah, the videos during the games, the live streams, they for sure don't do no justice. Like I keep telling everybody, like, you got to come through, you got to come see a game, because it's loud. It's loud out here. You can hear the drums going, because there's drums playing, in between pitches, and you can just feel the vibrations in your body, the adrenaline. It's another feeling. It's definitely another feeling. But yeah, hopefully one day Andy come out.
Yeah. So what you're saying? You guys are inviting us.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
I gotta renew my passport before I do that.
Come out and everything's taken care of.
I don't know, bro. You gotta make sure I'm safe, bro. I don't know about this.
Who's gonna pick me up? Who's gonna drop me off? Where are we going?
There's a lot more things to that.
Yeah, you get taken care of. Don't even worry about that.
He's got come over.
Shoot.
I just watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, bro. It's a lot safer over here, bro.
Man. All right.
But what about you, David? How is the atmosphere for you? I'm sure it's kind of like
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It gives you that motivation, that hunger, where it's like, yeah, it's the real deal, and it really is. Like he said, the fans are just different out here, man. They're diehard. In some cities or towns, that's all they got. This is what they look forward to all year long, and when they get it, they're running with it. Like he says, they got the drums, they got the chants, and they're not very PG. They're on you. You're like, what?
What did you just say?
Did you just say that? It's like, yeah, they are. So I love it, man. I love it, and it's definitely something that pushes me to thrive in. But yeah, like he said, and the good and the bad, So that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Got to have some thick skin to be out here for sure.
Man, talking about thick skin, man. This is my I'm not gonna say my segment, but it's my segment.
Here we go.
So, the mentality of everything, man.
Sir.
We've learned from the best and all that. But what is your guys's one of your guys' adversities that you guys said? This is where I thought about stopping it, but then I ended up keep going, man. Like, what was it? What situation in your guys' baseball career or life career that you say, you know what, I don't want to play no more. I'm gonna stop. But then you know what, you kept going.
Let's remind everyone they went from high school to college to
college,
all kinds of stuff.
So
it's like where they're at right now.
It's a big journey that they all went through, and it's a long one. But you guys are still able to get to where you guys want to go to, and you guys are still going. So I think that's what is it that got you guys to still want to keep going? All the adversity you guys went through.
I'll start it off. For me, after college, I kind of stopped playing for a couple of years. I kind of just playing tournaments and like on the weekend, but everyday grind is not the same, and that's all you got. It's for me. It was weird because even though I stopped playing, I never stopped grinding, right? So in my mind, I was still preparing for something, even though I didn't know what. I was still hitting that mountain. I was still getting my running in. I was still in the gym. I was still doing what I needed to do as a baseball player, but just wasn't playing baseball, which I was kind of like, all right, like, why am I doing it? But in the back of my mind, like, I knew, like, I'm not done. That I didn't leave off the way I wanted to leave off, and there were still some stones unturned. So yeah, slowly but surely, and I just prayed on it, man, keeping God close, and like, hey, if it's your will, then I'm here for it, and if it's not, then that's fine too, you know. But I knew it was definitely going to be around sports, and as I got back into college to go get my degree, that's really what shifted me into that direction. And shout out Dylan Conley, you know, he was someone that always believed in me, man. He always hit me up like, hey, you sure you don't want to play? Like, yeah, I'm out of shape, coach. Like, he's like, dude, I know where you are. Like, don't worry about it, you know, like just come out. He was someone that pushed on me to graduate. Like, you with the degree, like, I'd love to see it, you know. And aside from my family and everything like that, everyone's got degrees, you know. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much where, once I decided to go back to school, that was it, where I was like, all right, I'm running this marathon again, and now I'm going to run until the wheels fall off. And that's kind of how I ended up here.
There you go, man. Just the key word out of that is just keep going. Keep going, man. The grind don't stop and keep going, huh?
Yeah.
All right, Isaac, what about you, man?
Yeah, well, for me, it was a little different. I kind of like knew I just wanted to play baseball. Like, I never really thought like I don't want to play. You know, I never really thought that. But it was just for me, it was like, where can I go play? You know what I mean? Like, what's indie ball, or what's, you know, Mexico, or, you know, like I didn't even know what community baseball was. You know, I didn't know what a university was. So for me, it was just, you know, I think I got put into the right situations where it just like people saw me and invited me to go play, you know, the next level. Hey, you know, it just kept carrying over more and more. So, you know, I didn't know where I was going to play, but I just knew I wanted to play. So as far as like not ever or thinking like I didn't want to play, I never really felt that. But I could tell you a story where I didn't want to play. I was maybe like 10 years old or younger maybe, and Pacoima Park, I don't know if you guys know about that park, but my dad, he would always hit me ground balls. Shout out Pacoima Park, by the way. That's where I grew up. Right. And David and but yeah, my dad, he just hit me ground balls, and he hit them hard, and everyone would tell him like, hey, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you hitting him so hard? And like, he's little. So, you know, I would cry, and I would just like, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. I throw my glove away, and like, nah, I walk away. And then like, he just forced me like, hey, go take ground balls. Come on, what are you doing? So sure enough, he just keep hitting me, and that's, I feel like that's the only time that I ever said like I don't want to play anymore. But as far as like, you know, any other thing, like I just always wanted to play. And just to say this, if there's any of you guys out there that, you know, don't know where to play or don't know your next move, seniors, you guys, ask questions. Your coaches, I preach on asking your coaches like, hey, where do you think I should play? You know, where's a good spot for me? You know, there's always somewhere to play if you really want to play. You know, a lot of guys just stop because they don't know where to go. So I would really preach on, you know, asking questions to your coaches and letting them know, like, you know, where they think you should go. You know, they know where they have more experience. Obviously, you know, guys coming out of high school don't really know. But yeah, man, I had a big journey. I went from Cal State LA, or actually Valley College, and then not knowing what I was gonna do, I got invited to a travel team, a summer league, and then I got seen at Palm Springs Power summer collegiate game, and that's where I got picked up by Cal State LA, like with a month left before school started. Wow. That's how I got into Cal State LA. And then 2 years after I finished, I finished Cal State LA, and then 2 years I didn't go without playing, and that's where I met Joey from Zone 22. He took me to Puerto Rico. I played a year out there, and that's where the COVID hit, and we did. By the way, I don't know if you know, we did our Zone 22 games at Pacoima Park, and that's where Fernando Valenzuela went and saw me, and that's where I was able to get signed to Mexico. And then the rest just played in Mexico ever since. So like I said, it just kind of fell in my lap, and I'm thankful. So if you guys, again, back to if you don't know where to go, ask, man. Ask. There's always somewhere to play.
That's dope, man. You guys been through hell and back. It seems like you guys just been through it all. The nice fields, the fields not drag, the true ground ball, the bad hops. You guys been through it all, man. The mounds that are lines. You're like, man, I get to throw on this mound, or the mounds that are not packed. You're like, man, who didn't pack this mound? You know what I mean? So it sounds like you guys have been through it all, and you guys are still going. And man, shout out to you guys. You guys are still doing it. You guys are still doing it out in Mexico, man. That is, to me, it fires me up, man, because you guys. We get to talk about you guys, and hopefully people are watching. And if they're not watching, we're gonna put it on Instagram to people to, hopefully they do watch, because look at you guys. You guys are doing it.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. It's just big.
And shout out to you guys.
Yes.
Man. I've been tuned in with what you guys got going on. From believe it or not, we do spread the word out here, man. You guys come up a lot. The Braves Baseball Academy, and it's definitely a crutch. We tell them that because they're always asking us, like, hey, we want the kids to
go out there,
to go to the States, the United States, and go play. Like, and we're like, dude, we
connect that bridge.
We can connect some pieces, things together to try to make some things happen. But yeah, man, shout out to you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, from the ground up, and it's not easy. A lot of hard work.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. These guys do an amazing job, and just it's a lot of hard work. That's for sure, man. But going back to what Isaac said, back with the Valley Cats, you guys had a good camaraderie going. Hey, where are these kids gonna go? High school, and if we all go together, we can win it for 4 years. It's back in the days. With Rocks, it was like the Park Bums. Some went to Kennedy, some went to San Fernando, and or whatever it was, and they made back up at the end, and it was pretty dope. But it goes back to like with us right now. I mean, some of those kids were there yesterday watching watching us get walked off, and it's like, shoot, what do you do? But it does play a huge role in it, man, because you establish that winning mentality. You establish it at a very young age. The winning mentality, but it also you establish what it takes to win. You know what I mean? What it takes to win, and how to fall in love with the process and fall in love with the sport. You know what I mean? And then once you get to the high school level, you just got to get bigger and stronger. And obviously the bases seem a little longer, but the field are bigger. But it's baby steps, man. And some of these kids, parents, families do buy in, and I love that.
Yeah, and then those parents that buy in, and those other kids that buy in, all that, understand that winning is the fruit of the labor, right? You go and you win. But if you don't fall in love with the process, you're not going to get there very often. I think that's a lot of people say, the winning. So I expect to come and win. Well, those guys that were winning put in the work, and they love the process. They love the grind. They love the, you're going to have the moments where you're going to go at it with your teammates, but then in the day you have your goal that you've been going on. And I think that's the beauty of once they realize how they fall in love with that process, you guys talking about the grind, then that's when the culture ends up, it stays in you, right? Like, it doesn't come out of you anymore. It stays in you because you realize that that's how you win. And I think that's the biggest thing that we try to teach the kids as young as, 7, 8, 9, all the way to 14 is love the process, right? Love this thing, this practice. Love practice. Like, practice is where you're gonna get better at, believe it or not. Love your times of being on your own, working on your own. 'Cause that's how you're gonna get better. The winning, the games, that's how you go put it in together. Of course, we want to win, but if you don't love practice, you don't love working by yourself. All that's gonna come to an end eventually. Yeah. So I think that's the biggest thing. And hearing you guys go and realize where you guys started and where you guys are at, the grind is still there, and you guys love that. And I think that's the best thing about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, piggyback on that, talent's only going to get you so far, but the preparation, the grind, like you guys are saying, that's where, like, the game is the easy part. It's the performance. It's and we laugh about it. I always had like a running joke with a few old teammates because it was always like, it's not a game. We're performing, right? But it's more like we prepared for this moment. Guys want to try to get prepared the day before a game, where it's like a boxer, right? Is he doing 12 rounds or 20 rounds the day before his fight? No, the work's been done. So it's kind of the same type of mindset of like week to week, game to game. Now, if you got a game, yeah, you know there's adjustments and things you need to work on, but truthfully, man, it starts that first day of the week. You know, who's gonna work harder, and not only who's gonna work harder, but who's gonna be mentally present while they're putting in the work. That's a big key. That's the difference between 250 hacks and 30 hacks. Right. But if those 30 hacks, you're in the game and you're mentally present, it's probably gonna be more beneficial for you than those 200 swings of you talking about who knows what, taking those swings. You know, so. Right. Quality, you know, is definitely
quality over quantity.
Big part of it.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's for sure. You guys ever felt like you've been working hard? You're throwing bullpens, you're running, you're working out, throwing another bullpen, you're taking 100 ground balls, you're working on your craft, and and then you go into a game where it's like, man, I just got lit up. I just made errors. I just struck out, and you're like, have you ever? I'm sure you guys have. In your baseball career, like, wait a minute, I just worked my butt off, and look at me, I just failed.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I can. One coach he told me, if you've never been in a slump, you haven't been playing that long. Right. So it's gonna happen. You just put your head down and just keep going, man. Because, like I said, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But yeah, like you said, take quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Quantity over quality over quantity. Sure, man. That's big.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the thing, Mr. Hold on, I gotta bring this up, Mr. Ricky Vega himself in the comments. He said you guys used to rehearse your celebration at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah. So we had a picture of Dodger Stadium, and we put them on our lockers. Early in the
year. So
you
guys are dogpile every other day, or
No, but we just knew we were gonna win, man. We didn't know how, but like you weren't gonna beat us. Like what we had, that was just our mindset. Like good luck, because we're
coming for you.
Tears. Like you're gonna have to take us out, And that's funny, but yeah, these guys would like, oh, we're gonna be like this, and we're gonna, yeah.
Man,
that's right. You said that. I just knew I didn't want to be at the bottom of the pile.
Yeah,
I knew that from the beginning. That's how we had the picture on top.
Yeah.
On top of everybody, pushing everybody down.
Let's bring that up. Can we bring the picture up or no? Let's bring that video up.
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, that's funny, man. That's dope, dude. That you guys, but I mean, that's right. That's putting the good energy out there. That's putting that.
Well, I mean, it's one of those where you guys. I mean, again, Gomez did an amazing job. Amazing job. He's a captain of this ship, and you guys worked your butt off the right way. It sounds like you guys never cheated the game of baseball, and you never cheated yourselves. Bumps here and there on the road, of course there was, but deep inside, you guys knew you guys were workhorses, and there was no way no one was going to beat us. There was not a doubt, like, man, but remember that one time where you cheated yourself on that one pull, or that, when it was pull, or PFP? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there was probably never that, man.
Oh, no, that got settled right then and there.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And once you set that tone, you're like, man, I'm not gonna cheat myself.
It was gonna. I remember it got handled on the field, man. Like I said, I'll tell you the story, man. My shins were killing me, bro. I was 5 foot. I was 5 feet, bro, as a freshman, bro. This was 6 feet. I'm 5 feet. I'm mad that I can't get tall or nothing, and my shins are killing me, bro. My knees. Hey, you better run your 20 pulls. I said, I cannot run, bro. He's like, nah, I'm not leaving until you do this. I said, bro, I'm literally crying while I'm running my pulls, how much I was hurting. But at the end of the day, that's what it was, bro. It was like, and then it wasn't just varsity. It was to the JV guys, bro. Like, everyone's going to do this like this. I think that's where we always say, like, the culture from the top to the bottom was real there.
Yeah.
And all that. But now he's got another question out here, man, and I love this. I love this interaction. What's it called? How is the Mexican League out there and all that? Do you guys have analytics like that? Like, is that big over there as well? Like, you guys coaches go off of that, or like, these guys do better against lefties, or these pitchers face better against righties, or how, do you guys do all that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. They
sure.
got their
100%.
iPads. They study the games. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
And they want to know if you're doing it yourself. So not only do they study it, they learn it, and then they come back and they ask you what you think when they already know all the answers. So.
Damn.
Yeah, they're on it. They're on it, and yeah, they're down to a T. From the bullpen to all the guys. Yeah, everybody is in tune, and like I said, they got the iPads in the dugout.
That's dope, man.
And they kind of know everyone. Everyone's been around the league too, so they know who's who. And then every guy that's new, they ask questions, and they try to get their little inside scouting report on them. So it's a big thing, man. It's a big thing.
David Lira is better shaped than Kershaw.
Well, don't even get me started with Kershaw, bro.
They got his pick. They don't even lead off anymore.
That's
They're on the base.
Hey, he still picked on somebody on the base. That's real, bro. Not having a
Now, is it a balk or no?
Oh, man.
Straight up, man. Straight up.
Oh, that's funny, man.
Dope.
Yeah, so
Hey, but I didn't want to jump over it, but to a point what Gus was saying about putting in that work and not getting the results.
Yeah.
I just want to harp on that a little bit because it's a key moment especially for these young kids.
Yes.
That are like, oh, I'm working, and first off, you don't expect anything, right? Just because you're putting in the work, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna get X, Y, and Z. No, that's not how it works. What it is it gives you a mental cushion, a place where you can go to mentally when you're failing and say, no, I put in the work. I've done what I had to do from the time that I had to get better, to be prepared for this moment. All we can do is prepare for the moment. The results are out of our control, right? So that's the least of it. They always say enjoy the journey, and don't focus on the results. But it's just buying into it. It's knowing that your time is going to come. And a lot of that probably has to do mentally. So maybe it's not so much physical work you need to do. Maybe you need to just sit down and figure out what's going on mentally and mental work. There's a lot of good books out there, the mental game and things like that takes work too. We got to remember this stuff is 90% mental. So if we're only working on the physical, we're missing the whole gist of the game we play, and not only baseball but life. So that's probably where it's like, okay, I know I'm doing the physical. Maybe I'm missing a little over here. Let me go focus. Let me go break down that bats in my mind and what I'm thinking, right? And I think that's also important. But, don't get discouraged. If anything, it should make you go harder and believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else is going to believe in you, and I'm a firm believer in that. You got to walk like it, you got to talk like it, but it can't be false hustle. And it's easy to tell apart false hustle because as soon as the pressure comes, you're going to crumble. So
don't get it twisted with Nipsey hustle, but false hustle. Damn, hold on, wait a minute, man. Shit, all right.
And when no one's watching, that's a big part too.
Well, that's dope, man.
Also love it.
Yeah, Felipe said, shout out you guys, man. You guys are doing it out there,
Yeah,
man. My boy Felipe, man.
Yep.
Man. But man, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like this is great insight, great information, man, and all that. And we got one more question that we can ask you guys, man. How much is the analytics that you guys have of your guys' team and all that? How big is that in you guys' daily routines? Does that affect anything? Do you guys change anything, or is it just this is what we're gonna add on now to what you guys already do?
No, say that one more time.
So when you don't have the analytics and all this stuff now, right? So you guys have to know these things or iPads. They're to your disposal. Do you guys put them into your routine now, or do you guys still go about your things and you just add?
No, yeah, we definitely put it into our routine, but I feel like I'm more of an old school player. I just, do the things,
See ball, hit ball, huh?
Yeah, bro.
That's what you gotta do.
Hit ball, bro. I don't want to.
Hey, that's why my boy's sitting third. Hey, that's why he's sitting third. You know what I mean? Look at him.
But, I'm more of a just see ball, hit ball, just, stay on the fastball. That's me. I'm good enough. Well, I mean, I'm humbled enough to be able to react to the off speed and do my thing there too. I actually like growing up. I like hitting the off speed more because I realize balls goes farther. So yeah, like I said, just do your thing. I'm more of an old school player. Analytics is cool or not, but sometimes you got to remember what got you there.
Do you like to know what's coming?
I do actually. I had what happened.
Yes.
There was a situation runner on first and second, 5-4 ball game. We're down one. Our pitching coach, I'm like, hey, I think the catcher's getting the sign from someone in the bullpen. Sure enough, a batter later, he comes up to me, hey, like, yeah, I can see it. Do you want it? I'm like, yeah, give me the fastball. Just give me the fastball. If there's nothing else, then it's cool. Like, I'll take the off speed because they're giving off speed in the third. They're give me the fastball. Sure enough. Yeah, I'm down with it. I'm down with it. Not no cash can though. Not no cash can.
Oh man, but what about you, David? Is it change your approach as a pitcher to like, no, hey, you know what? I want to know what these hitters can hit, that.
Yeah, like you said, I know it helps. For me, I would like a lot of that information to be given to my catcher, and yes, it's important for me too. But it's that way. It's like it helps us be in sync a little bit better with pitch calling, and I mean it goes both ways, right? I'm not putting it on the catcher, but I think that's valuable information for a catcher because it makes you think a little bit less as a pitcher, and it kind of gets you guys going on the same page. And you got to love a catcher that is like fastball inside, and you're like, no, and he's like fastball inside.
Right.
Like, what do you? And then it's like, all right, boom, and it kind of it builds a little different bond. And I feel the game's I don't know, I don't want to speak too much on it, but I feel like sometimes that's missing in catchers. Like catchers they're facing the field for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They're the only position, and they can see everything right in front of them. And to be, not anybody can catch, man. It takes a different grit, a different mindset, so I don't know if it's kind of gone away from that and like coaches take a little more. I don't know, but I guess I'm a little old school too when it comes to that stuff. But outside of me pitching, like a few days before, yes, it's cool to see, okay, this guy struggles with fastballs down and out, off speed. All right, boom, we'll work that, But not every pitcher is the same. So what may work for one guy may not work for you. And you got to have that savvy to distinguish the difference and to know, I'm this kind of pitcher. This guy is similar. Okay, boom, there's going to be some similarities that you can work off of, right? So you're not going to be a pitcher, that is trying to work like the closer if you're, a long relief guy or whatever it is. So things like that you got to be aware of. But does it help the game? Sure. Is it everything? I don't. For me, it's not. I'm a firm. Like I like to watch right there. If I'm in the game, I'm learning. I'm in every pitch. I'm not talking to the guy next to me about what he wants to do. Like I'm locked in because my ticket's going to get punched at some point. Right. And if it's not here, it's the next time I see you. So I learn a lot that way. Like, okay, this guy, he sees the fastball well. I want to know those things. Or he sees the ball well. All right, cool. Then I'm gonna, start it right there. I'm gonna pitch with more movement than I am gonna attack you with hard and straight. Yeah. Right? Things like that. This guy's out in front today. Boom. Okay, we're gonna get him fishing. But things like that, I like to look out for a little more than like what the iPad is gonna show, because sometimes it's like it helps, but like I said, everyone is different. So.
It's dope.
That's dope, man. Well,
it's some good info, man. It's some good stuff.
Yes,
I might
sir.
go back and rewatch this one of these days because, this was great. This was awesome. This was, again, thank you guys. We're coming to an end here, but before we let you guys go,
we got the Gus Rico segment.
We got.
Yes, sir.
That's it. You just do that. You just went there.
The Gus Rico segment.
Right, here we go. Here we go. Well, episode 45. Just so you know. You know what I mean? All right, you guys ready? You guys can both answer these. All right, pitch clock or no pitch clock?
Pitch clock or no pitch clock? I mean, for the fans, pitch clock. For baseball players, no pitch clock.
Okay. All right. David?
Pitch clock.
Yeah.
Pitch clock.
Tempo.
Yeah. I mean,
Tempo
that fool works fast as
I
hell.
know, that's
why,
why.
bro. He
That's
works
why.
so fast.
Yeah,
Pitch clock. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Favorite MLB player of all time?
Derek Jeter.
Dang, that's tough.
You better not say the name I think you're gonna say, bro. I swear to you. You say it, I'm
You
pissed.
gonna say Kershaw?
Yes, bro. He's gonna say Kershaw, bro. I know.
No, it's definitely. But shouts out to Kershaw. No, honestly, I've been like, I'm not a guy that was like, oh, dude, MLB guy. You know, I don't know why I always thought about it different. I wish Kobe was a MLB player because I'd say Kobe.
Say
But
Kobe.
definitely my favorite athlete of all time. But baseball player Randy Johnson was somebody that I was like,
You looking up to? All right, that's a good one. That's a good one right
That's a
there.
really good one.
DH or no DH?
What was that?
DH or no DH?
He's good.
Lira, he said DH. He
DH?
said, yep, DH.
David did?
Yeah, David did.
Oh yeah, he definitely don't want to bat in his hands. Hell no.
Oh man, Isaac, DH.
I'm DH.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
I'm
right.
for sure.
Let's see. Dodger dog or nachos?
Dodger Dog. I would take the nachos.
All right,
Nachos.
nachos. Okay, that's good. Favorite kind of seeds?
Spits.
Spits.
I'm a Spits guy. Yeah, all the flavors.
He said,
Out
oh,
here, or actually, no, back home too. They be doing the chips in the Spits.
oh wow.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like they like chop,
Ruffles.
yeah, like ruffles. They chop them up in like little pieces.
Hot
Really?
Ruffles, they crush them up and then they throw them in the
In the
seeds.
seeds.
Shit, y'all gotta bring those back. I never see those out here.
Bring those back.
No, you make them on the spot. You buy the chips and then you buy the seeds.
Oh,
and then
shit.
you
Nah.
Oh yeah, that's some real Mexico shit right there, man.
David, my
Yeah, of course.
kind of seeds.
David?
Yeah.
Oh,
Of course. Hey man, this was dope. I
Man.
want to shout out our production producer Rafa. He came through today. His son's actually at San Fernando right now. He's a catcher going into his junior year.
yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Shout out.
He's trying to keep it going over there at San Fernando Tigers.
Yeah, he's trying to get them up there, you know, and they're not bad. They're getting better every year. So
Yeah.
we'll see them soon.
Good,
They'll be
yeah.
up
Let's keep it going.
Man, go
I'm
ahead, Lyra.
Having us, man. Thanks for having me. It was
Yeah, this was
dope.
dope.
Keep
Yeah.
doing your thing. I'll probably see you guys out there in my off season. Me, Andy, I'll be umpiring. Getting the game, seeing the game from a different lens. I love to umpire. So I stay, active back there. But yeah, keep doing your thing. I think I did what your guys' Vegas tournament too.
Yeah,
so
you did. Yeah,
I'll probably
PG.
see you guys out there for the PG tournament.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, keep doing your thing. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's good what you guys are doing. For
Yeah,
the
man.
kids and bringing the next generation up. So shout out to you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Part
man.
2 live when you guys get here.
Yeah, part 2 live. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
have David coaching and doing some out here too. Don't worry about
Oh,
it.
for sure.
Hey, let's go.
Thanks for having us, man. We definitely appreciate it.
There you go.
Oh,
Man,
look
let's
at that.
go.
man.
that's a dope picture.
That's OG right there.
Terry Stoller, rest in peace, man. Wow.
Yeah.
There you are. Look at that.
Okay. Damn.
Man, those memories
Go
right there, bro.
Oh, of
Let's
course
go.
you're in the middle. Of course you're in the middle.
Shout out to all those guys, man.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
coaches
man.
to all the
The
players.
brothers.
That's
right there, all of
Ruben.
them.
That's Andy Martinez. That's David Garcia.
CG. Ricky Vega,
Ricky
guy
Vega
right
right
there,
there.
number 4. He was
Yeah.
just in the comments.
That's Sticks.
Shout out Rick.
Sticks
Yeah.
right there.
That's
man.
dope, man. That is dope.
Hey, you know who too? Shout out, damn, the only agent we had, bro. What's his name, bro?
James
James
Ah.
bro.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was
He
legit,
rigged,
bro.
didn't he?
That
He
was
rigged.
rigged. Yeah, he did, bro. He went to go play professional in the KBO.
Damn.
Korean
Yeah,
Baseball League.
Korea,
He
yeah.
played
He's
out
like a front office or something. He's
Now
doing
he is,
something
yeah.
front office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that's
he's doing
dope,
his
yeah.
thing out
He
there.
left instantly. As soon as he graduated, I felt bounced over there, bro. I started playing, bro.
He said San
We
Fernando
out.
later.
Yeah.
He comes through to LA here and there.
Yeah.
Didn't he
Yeah.
transfer? Didn't he transfer over too?
Yeah, he
He
did.
did.
So
He
we
was
started at
definitely-
Chatsworth together. We started at
Oh,
Chatsworth.
shit, yeah. And the reason why I know too, 'cause
Package deal.
yeah,
He came first. He left first.
Yeah, I remember because I see him on Instagram now. He works with kids too and all that. He gives lessons and stuff. So that's dope, man. That's good to see, man.
Yeah, he's definitely doing it up over there.
All right.
Alrighty, man. Well, thank you guys again, man. Thank you guys for checking out, man. We appreciate it. I'm sorry if we didn't get to all you guys' comments, but keep coming and interacting with us, man. We appreciate it. Thank you guys again, man. David and Isaac, man. I know you guys are busy. We'll get you guys out of here and all that, but good luck this weekend. I know you guys will be playing. We'll be checking you guys out. And keep enjoying the good baseball. Keep going with the grind. It don't stop. Any of you guys out there that do want to go and let them know. David Lira on Instagram, Isaac Dominguez on Instagram, man. Don't be afraid. They'll reach out. They'll help you guys out, man. If you guys want to know anything.
Sure, 100%.
But
in, man.
then again, man, thank you guys again. Good luck to you guys. If you guys haven't yet, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to go and keep going and all that. The content don't stop. This is our new grind as long as well with baseball and all that. So thank you guys again, and we out.
Let's go.
Later, boys.
Later.